Hello random ladies and gents, hope you're all doing well, and today we're going to discuss a very controversial topic today. Now, normally I don't cover drama on my channel, at most I debunk certain theories and proposals. However, given how this drama pertains to the paleo media community and the Jurassic Park communities, I felt I should step in the ring with my own 2 cents. So recently there's been a bit of a heated discussion regarding the dinosaur models in the upcoming Jurassic World Dominion film, specifically on whether or not the Tyrannosaurus Rex model should be changed from the standard Jurassic World style to a design that's reminiscent of the original Jurassic Park Tyrannosaurus. Personally, I could give less of a shit on whether or not the model looks like the original or keeps the current design. As long as the design looks good, I'm fine. But that's not enough for some people. I understand that people like certain designs over others, and that's completely fine. It's just that this whole debacle has risen to a completely ridiculous level, bubbling and boiling to the apex of tipping points, and the culmination of the ultimate raging of fanboys and fangirls. Should it look like the old T-Rex? Would it break continuity? Which one looks better? Which voice should be heard the loudest when reaching out to the people in charge of the design? It's an age-old battle. A battle that has culminated in a catalyst of drama and one of the most hilariously glorious ravings of madness since Alex Jones on YouTube, in what can only be described as
an absolute cacophony, a crescendo, a finale, a coup de grace, a Guterdomarong battle.
The Truth About Jurassic Park's T-Rex, a message to Colin Trevorrow. This video by Clayton Fiore, one of, if not the biggest Jurassic Park / Jurassic World YouTuber, and by far one of the loudest voices in the fandom, goes on one of the biggest, dare I say, one of the most hilarious rants I've ever seen, making some very strong statements for the arguments against the choice of having the design return to the Retro 93 one. Like I said, I don't care which design gets chosen or not, but this is blown up to such an extent that it's ridiculous, and the fact that he tries to put out a lot of dumb points to support his argument that either fall flat or just hypocritical, no matter how you put it, calls for some commentary. His biggest claim is that it will mess with the continuity of the Jurassic World films if they change the design, but then goes on to say the design continuity was never perfect to begin with by stating at the very beginning of the video the various differences between the CGI model of the Jurassic Park Tyrannosaurus and the animatronic, before proceeding to push the argument that going back to the retro design will mess with the continuity of the same universe with the same story, even though Jurassic World already messed with the continuity because they already ended up changing the design anyway for Jurassic World. This argument in itself is hypocritical because he's trying to call out the naysayers by saying the inconsistency of the Tyrannosaur's appearance was always a thing, with minuscule details nonetheless. Seriously, he uses the tooth count difference for his argument. The difference in the amount of teeth.
But if you have the intellectual capability to simply count to 4, you can see here that both of these models from Jurassic Park are not identical to one another by simply counting the number of teeth at the front of its snout.
You serious?
I mean, come on, you can't argue that inconsistency isn't an issue for the designs before immediately doubling back and going nuts because your favorite design can be changed. That's not how this works. That is bias. This video didn't help anything. If anything, it stoked the fires a bit more than it already was. Not only did Clayton rage and tantrum on this video like a damn child while rambling like a madman, but he ended up further dividing the community by making this video and this issue more public, stoking the fires of the drama. To make matters worse, he even went out of his way to call those who disagree with him entirely wrong or factless liars. This was a terrible move. Not only because, like I said before, it sets up a divide between the fandom because he is one of the biggest voices in this community, but he is also putting a good chunk of his audience in this category, effectively insulting and alienating them regardless of trying to loop it around and say, This video wasn't meant to be a derogatory or inflammatory video to criticize the other side, when he effectively goes out of his way to do so by calling them wrong, or if they disagree with him, liars, resulting in him being called out on Reddit before it was swiftly taken down. Fortunately, screenshots were saved, so feel free to check those out, with each point pretty much summing up why the video was full of shit regardless of what point he was trying to make, including Clayton inadvertently sending his fans to nag and pressure Colin Trevorrow and the VFX team into doing what Clayton wants. As a nerd and a filmmaker, I completely understand wanting a certain design to stick or change, but honestly, this drama has entered a whole new level of childish in the matter that people are now harassing the people in charge of making this film. It honestly shouldn't matter what the design looks like, so long as the design is good, be it based on more retro or just new. Not only that, but this drama makes this community itself look more ridiculous and childish than it already does, with both sides trying to be the loudest to get Colin Trevorrow to listen to what they have to say. And the nagging overall could affect how our voices are approached. Colin has always interacted with fans and does his best to listen to the criticisms provided by said fans in order to create the best film he can. So if we all come at him like nagging children, that not only makes us as a community look terrible, but it makes Colin less inclined to listen to what we have to say, be it productive with something improving the story, or something as minuscule as getting our favorite dinosaur added to the film. We have to remember that these aren't just robots pushing out a favorite product. These are people making a film with limited resources and a deadline to fill and various audiences to appease. We can't all be happy, and we have to remember that as fans, while we have a duty to help improve and support the content we love, we also have to keep in mind that we can't always have what we want, especially when there's an audience that wants the opposite. And if we want to reach out to the creators, we should do so in a respectful manner, not only just being well-mannered, but also respecting that they have their own creative freedoms and their own creative responsibilities. Not only that, but as much as we should be respectful to the creators, we should also be respectful to fans who don't agree with us, as hard as that may be. To wrap things up, Clayton has said he didn't like how the video turned out, and I can fully believe he looked back on it and immediately thought, yeah, he screwed up. Not to mention his Twitter is gone from existence, so it seems that Clayton has either been flagged and banned from Twitter because his fans were spamming Colin with the video, or he took it down because of the backlash he received for saying stupid shit. Either way, it's not a good look. He did make a video with Bryce Invenator to help mend the split between the community and show that, hey guys, everything's cool, look, we're still cool guys. But ultimately, the damage is already done. I don't hate Clayton for this. He's a good YouTuber and he's a pretty chill guy, but I still feel like it's an issue that should be addressed, especially when they beat around the bush with it in their most recent video. In short, this whole divide, while somewhat typical of the usual debates in nerd culture, it is definitely a case where it's reaching an unnecessarily high level of ridiculous where the filmmakers are being harassed. As Jurassic Park fans, as of fans of anything in general, it's important to recognize if and when we are asking for too much, or when we are asking too much. And more importantly, remember that at the end of the day, no matter what they do, they're still artists with their own choices, then they have the right to make their own creative choices, whether we like them or not. Besides, at the end of the day, there will still always be things in this franchise that we love and appreciate no matter what. I want to leave everyone off with this simple quote on how to approach these crazy situations. Laugh hard, run fast, and be kind. Random ladies and gents, I release you.